Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, what's the holdup? A new report explores why the lines were so long during the last municipal election. Bed blockers, why patients who don't require care are taking up space in local emergency rooms. And switching sports, a local summer Olympic gold medalist will compete at the Winter Games.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The city auditor's preliminary report into the fall election is being examined by City Council. The report found inadequate training for poll workers and confusing new forms caused frustration and delays for voters. One councillor thinks the review only skims the surface of how widespread election night issues were. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Long lineups at polling stations were a common experience during the October election. In some cases, too long for voters to wait.
Well, we didn't get to vote. I have to go to work, so we had to leave because we got here and registered or filled out the form. And a long lineup ahead of us.
A new report by the city auditor finds frustration was high for both voters and staff as they adapted to new provincial requirements. These challenges centered primarily on difficulties with the computer system, potentially stemming from inadequate training, technical issues, or human error, and struggles with accurately completing the necessary worksheets and forms. A preliminary review by Edmonton Elections also highlights issues for staff. Specific feedback from election workers suggested that more hands-on training in the use of the electronic electors register, as well as completion of the forms, was needed.
None of what they identified would have materially impacted the outcome of the election, but nevertheless, we have clear work that needs to be done.
The reports find Edmonton Elections was short-staffed by about 1,200 people, with many workers handling multiple jobs.
On election day, I saw my scrutineers talking about how they could see that people didn't know how to use the computer system. There was a lot of confusion. All of those experiences were true.
Councillor Tu Parmar was elected after a recount in her ward. While she's confident in the results, she's not sure the audit fully captures the election day confusion.
I don't know if what I experienced is in there because it says 93% of stations had minor issues. So I'm actually not sure if my ward was the 7%.
Mayor Knack also takes issue with the provincial requirement to hand count ballots, which meant results were not published on election day. The province is doing its own review. Meanwhile, councillors will discuss the audit next week. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
City councillors are debating plans for developing new and future neighbourhoods. Yesterday, councillors heard property taxes could increase by 40% in the next 10 years. More money is needed to pay for services and staff of a growing and sprawling city. Today's debate stemmed from a public hearing on bylaws to change potential new neighbourhoods. Mayor Andrew Knack says this council has to change direction from approvals from decades ago.
Everything that is south of 41st Avenue, authorizing planning for that needs to come with the authorization of also a clear financial plan of how we will pay for all of the necessary infrastructure, because the last thing we want to do is to continue what has been a decades-long challenge of approving new neighborhoods without any plan of how you're going to pay for the infrastructure.
The mayor says a report from 10 years ago estimated the city would lose almost $1.5 billion in infrastructure alone just by creating 3 new neighborhoods. Premier Danielle Smith sat down today with BC Premier David Eby and Prime Minister Mark Carney ahead of the First Ministers meeting in Ottawa.
We don't always agree on everything, but I think we've got a really solid base to start on, and I'm looking forward to continuing that conversation.
Eby described the meeting as civil and borderline friendly. The 3 leaders discussed the federal memorandum of understanding and a potential pipeline at length. Eby says Smith pledged to keep BC in the loop as she prepares to release a new proposal in June.
I underlined the crucial importance of engaging with First Nations through this process. These are the same First Nations that are supporting in excess of $50 billion worth of energy projects already in British Columbia, and we need their continued support to be able to deliver those projects.
Premier Eby held firm on supporting the existing tanker ban. As of now, there is no private proponent or new route to the coast. Dozens of Alberta wildfire personnel are in Australia to help battle wildfires there. Australia has been dealing with brush fires for weeks and record heat in some areas. Forestry and Parks Minister Todd Loewen says 37 personnel were deployed over the weekend, including 20 firefighters and 17 wildfire management specialists. They'll be there for 30 days. Alberta and Australia share a long-standing partnership fighting wildfires. The minister says Australia has deployed more than 1,000 firefighters to Alberta since 2015. People who work in seniors and community housing say they're not surprised emergency rooms are clogged as they've seen a growing demand for spaces. CTV's Nicole Weisberg joins us now with more. So, Nicole, you've been looking into this issue in hospitals. What did you find?
Well, Matt, about 6 months ago, alternate level of care patients, also known as bed blockers, took up nearly 40% of beds in some Edmonton area hospitals. These are patients who do not require hospital level care and are waiting for a more appropriate place to go. August data provided to CTV News shows these patients took up between 18% to 37% of beds in Edmonton's 4 major hospitals. St. Albert's Sturgeon Hospital was at 40%. A 2024 analysis pegs the cost of caring for these individuals in hospital at between $700 and $1,200 a day. In comparison, it states long-term care costs around $250 a day. The majority of these patients are seniors, but there is also a growing number of people with more complex needs.
Way more than just standard health needs of, aging or even dementia or wayfinding. It is significant, complex, chronic needs and behavioral issues that are really hard to manage in a congregate setting.
The Alberta Seniors and Community Housing Association says more spaces for these individuals are needed. It is also advocating for 24-hour home care. Well, the minister in charge of the new Assisted Living Health Agency says since it became operational in September, the number of ALC patients has gone down 22% in Edmonton. We'll have more on this topic in my latest Closer Look segment tonight on CTV News at 6. Matt?
All right, Nicole Weisberg live in studio tonight. Thank you. A Canadian Olympian is one of the keynote speakers at one of Canada's largest autism conferences happening right now in Edmonton. Hundreds of people will fill the Fantasyland Hotel conference room until Friday night. Autism and mental health researchers and advocates are speaking about aging with autism, Indigenous understanding of autism, and dealing with stigma. This morning, Olympian Clara Hughes shared stories about her journey with mental health.
You can say, is it bad that people are talking more about mental health? Then there's more need, there's more demand. It's like, no, there's less silence. And so I think that people are talking about it, people are engaged in here is a great indication.
The demand for this conference is because people are desperate for help, for support, for information, because it's really hard for them right now.
This is the 18th year of the conference. It runs until 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Connor McDavid is preparing to face off against one of his Olympic teammates. The Edmonton Oilers host Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks at Rogers Place tomorrow night. It's the Oilers' 4th last game before the Olympic break next week. McDavid and Celebrini will both represent Canada at the Winter Games. McDavid says his only goal is to win a gold medal.
You know what, we're hockey players and everyone understands there's day jobs and then there's other jobs, and we're there to do a different job. So I keep saying, it's the biggest sporting event in the world, and to do it together with 25 of Canada's best hockey players, it's a dream come true. It really is.
Tomorrow's game against the Sharks begins at 7 o'clock. Josh, overcast out there today and a little bit colder than yesterday, but still not a bad day for the end of January.
Yeah, right around average today. Kind of stops and starts to the warming trend. It was -9 on Monday. Yesterday we got to 0. Today at -4. Should get to about +1 for a daytime high tomorrow. And that'll be the start of what looks like a lengthy stretch of days with temperatures above the freezing mark. We were at -10 this morning. -5 is the average daytime high. It looks like -4 is probably going to end up as the high for today. We're at -5 right now. -6 off to the west and northwest of the city, -8 at Elk Island, but fairly light wind. Lots of cloud cover out there through the day. You can see that on this shot from the CTV drone flying high over the River Valley right now. Those clouds have been producing snow in parts of the province. Haven't really seen much or any of that in most of Edmonton. It's all kind of danced around the city, and I think that'll be the case through the rest of this evening. You get some more organized snowfall here in east central and northeastern Alberta and off to the southeast. But you can see there really hasn't been all that much, save for maybe a handful of snowflakes. Off to the northeast there, that one little pocket is going to slip past us, and there's not much back to the west and northwest yet to go through this evening. So I think we'll just stay cloudy through the rest of this evening. We'll probably drop to about -10 overnight tonight, and the temperatures will gradually start to climb through tomorrow morning, and we'll get some clearing as well. Light wind, about 1 under partly cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon, and then in the 3 to 5 degree range for Friday, Saturday, but a chance of some rain, maybe freezing rain in the forecast. We'll get into that in a little more detail in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, rec center changes. A former city councillor wants to create a new program for kids.
And it helps save kids' lives and gives them better futures.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
A former city councillor is trying to help change the way rec centers operate to encourage kids to be more active. As CTV's Merrick Takash explains, it's an issue he ran on in his mayoral campaign.
Former city councillor Michael Walters has designed a program geared towards steering kids down the right path.
You know, I think when we see around us today substantial increases in mental health challenges, addictions, homelessness, particularly among young people.
He recently met with new Mayor Andrew Knack to propose the creation of All In for Kids, a comprehensive after-school program.
All In for Kids is essentially, you know, turbocharging our rec centers to make them more open, elementary schools making sure they're more accessible, so kids have healthy things to do, sports, art, recreation, after school when they're most vulnerable to getting into trouble.
He wants to make admission to rec centers free for school children and provide free transportation from what Walters calls high-risk neighborhoods.
I think it's a phenomenal idea. It's a way to get even more kids into sport, getting more kids connected to free recreation opportunities. And the way to do it is just by activating spaces we already have.
Nakota Isga councillor Reed Clark will soon be putting forward his own motion.
When I saw that policy came out, I actually had very similar ideas on that. And I even sent him a text. I said, hey, I think you beat me to this, because I was going to put out a similar thing on my platform.
Clark plans to have a motion in place within the next few weeks.
It just makes financial sense, and it helps save kids' lives and gives them better futures.
Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Don Wheaton YMCA is launching a year-long campaign to make downtown Edmonton more vibrant. The YMCA has been a part of Edmonton's downtown core for more than 100 years. It opened its first building in 1907, just a couple of blocks away from where the Y stands today. It's partnering with the city and organizations like the Downtown Business Association to put a renewed focus on revitalizing the core.
So we're an OG tenant of the downtown. This is where we got our start. So we want to step up and have a leadership role here to help with this effort that's going to take everybody.
The Y is holding an event Friday night to kick off the campaign. The facility also has its own plans for renewal, including new ways to use its outdoor spaces. Still to come tonight on CTV News, how a town south of Edmonton is working together to solve its doctor shortage.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Josh, not too bad of a day out there. Going to be even nicer this week, though. Later this week, I should say.
Yeah, a little bit melty through the afternoon hours, especially as we head into the weekend. We're going to have to keep a close eye on Friday night. Especially in northeastern parts of the province. There's a pretty good chance we'll see some freezing rain. Tonight, just cloudy skies as you look through the River Valley Sky Cam. It's brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. We're at -5 right now. It's -2 to the south and Red Deer. Look at Jasper's at +5. 10 degrees warmer just off to the west. Lloydminster stuck at -13 and -12 in Fort McMurray right now. And you do have some snow falling in parts of east central and northeastern Alberta and across areas around and just south of Coronation. Not much expected to roll through the Edmonton area. It looks like it'll just be empty clouds for the rest of this evening, but this will continue, and you may even pick up 1 to 4 centimeters of snow here in parts of northeastern Alberta by early tomorrow morning. We'll see some clearing, so there will be a bit of sunshine at times tomorrow. It's not going to be completely blue skies, but we'll see a little bit of sun breaking through the clouds. And then as we make our way into Friday, rain, chance of freezing rain into the Peace Country through the morning hours Friday. It gradually shifts off to the east. I think as far north as high level, it's mostly snow. But Peace Country down through the Slave Lake region, Whitecourt areas, you have a pretty good chance of seeing some showers here Friday afternoon. I think temperatures will be above zero, so this won't be freezing on contact. But roads are going to be wet, sidewalks will be wet. And as temperatures drop Friday night, they're going to ice over. Best chance for precipitation in the Edmonton area comes through the evening hours. It's pretty broken and scattered, but a chance of some showers, maybe some patchy freezing rain. This is really sort of the best chance here. Friday evening into late Friday night, east central, northeastern Alberta. You may even see some freezing rain warnings issued because of that system going through. So don't have to worry about it tomorrow, but certainly Friday through the evening hours could be a concern. -13's Fort McMurray, Cold Lake tomorrow morning, about -2 in Jasper. We'll wake up to temperatures around -9. You'll still be a handful of degrees below zero for daytime highs in the northeast, but this is a lot warmer than it's been for a while. It's the warmest in a little over a week in Fort McMurray. Grand Prairie +1, 4s for Edson and Jasper, and 1 into Red Deer tomorrow. Lloydminster, Coronation, 4 to 6 degrees below zero for daytime highs. Here in the city, light wind through the day tomorrow. -11 for an overnight low, but by tomorrow morning in the -8, -9 range. 1 for a high. 3 on Friday. There's that chance of precipitation Friday evening. And then warmest day this weekend is probably Saturday, but it looks gusty for Saturday. Should still be in the 2 to 5 degree range for daytime high Sunday, Monday, and in the long range as well as temperatures stay a handful of degrees above zero and way above average right through that first week of February. Hey, we're accepting applications for spring weather watcher sessions. So if you're a grade 5 teacher or you're the parent of a grade 5 student, email me, josh.clausen@ctv.ca, and you can see that grade 5 class on the news.
All right, Josh, thank you. The town of Stettler is welcoming 7 new doctors. The hirings come just a few years after the area was left with only 5 doctors after several left the community or were reassigned. The emergency department was forced to close on weekends due to the staff shortage. A nonprofit organization lobbied the town and county to increase incentives for doctors to live and work in Stettler. 12 doctors have since been hired in what's being called a collective community effort.
Everyone stepped up. Anyone that had met some of these new doctors rolled out the red carpet for them, told them how great our community is, brought them under their wing, really showed them what our community is about.
Stettler is encouraging people in the surrounding areas to take advantage of the new hires. The organization believes the space for up to 3,000 patients will be filled quickly. The Bank of Canada is keeping its key interest rate at 2.25%. The decision is in line with what most analysts were predicting. It comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future with the scheduled review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement coming up later this year. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem has said the central bank believes inflation is likely to hold at around its target of 2% this year. It's prepared to respond if that outlook changes. When we return, from biking to bobsleigh, how a gold medalist at the Summer Olympics is able to compete at the Winter Games.
It's been a lot of emotions. My family and friends are pumped. The sport has always been incredible.
Thursday on Your Morning, the economics of separation. What impact talk of leaving Canada could have on investment and our financial outlook. Plus, we look back at the best Grammy performances of all time.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y.
A couple from Calgary is heading to the Olympics to be the staff doctors for the Canada's men's and women's hockey teams. Dr. Ian Auld is the medical director for the Calgary Flames. He will be the men's team's physician. He's worked several international events for Hockey Canada, including last year's Four Nations face-off. His wife, Dr. Laura Benian, is a family doctor. She has worked with Hockey Canada's women's program in the past and will be the women's team's doctor. The pair is excited to share their Olympic dreams together.
We've been at this journey independently, and so it's kind of really interesting that we've both ended up with our respective teams this time around.
I hope to be sitting in the stands of the gold medal women's game, and I'll probably be more happy if she wins than if I win. I mean, of course, I want our guys to win, but I wish success for her.
The first game for the women's team is against Finland next Thursday, February 5th. The men play Thursday, February 12th versus Czechia. An athlete from Sherwood Park will soon be one of the few Canadians to compete at the Summer and Winter Olympics. The CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports she's trading in her bike for a bobsled.
For Sherwood Park athlete Kelsey Mitchell, this is a dream a decade in the making. Mitchell first tried bobsledding after graduating from the University of Alberta in 2016.
I thought maybe bobsleigh would be for me. At the time, I just wasn't fast enough or strong enough, and so 10 years later, I finally have the strength and power and was able to make the cut.
Last week, Mitchell earned herself a spot on Team Canada's bobsledding team for the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan.
It's been a lot of emotions. Like, my family and friends are pumped. Like, the support has always been incredible.
And to see her jump into bobsled, which she originally wanted to get into, and work hard and get to where she is right now, it's not surprising, but a huge accomplishment for herself.
Mitchell is no stranger to competing on a track on the world stage. The two-time Olympian won gold for the track cycling sprint at the 2020 Olympics. Mitchell is the 14th Canadian to compete in both the Summer and Winter Olympics.
It feels like my first Olympics all over again. I don't really know what to expect. I've never stayed at the Village. I've never gone to an opening ceremony, so it'll be completely different.
Her skills to become a dual sport Olympian is no small feat.
To see her have that focus, to switch that focus from track cycling to speed skating, pivoting to bobsled, to live her dream and live her goal and make it a reality of making the team takes utter commitment.
Clara Hughes sits on the small roster of Canadian athletes who've competed at the Summer and Winter Olympics.
I can say that. I know it. I've lived it. And she's doing it right now, and she's doing it in sports that I didn't do. So I'm a fan, just like everyone else, and super curious to see what she can do with this opportunity.
I love competing. I love pushing myself. I love working with team members and just trying to be the best I can be.
After Milan, Mitchell's sights are set on returning to cycling to compete at the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.